Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuke ama reality shows ethu alla eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu alla eMzansi. And you guys, today I am going to do the fullest review of Real Housewives of Durban season 3 episode 7. We are in episode 7. Can you believe it? Seziya ngasemaphethelweni. Okay, ongakhulumanga akasobuya khuluma, ongalwanga akasobuya ongahambanga nge-private jet akasobuya hambe nge-private jet, ongahambanga nge-quantum akasobuya hambe nge-quantum. Okay. Umbali nje manje akakhohlwa because she's like missing in action. How can you miss a trip? The first trip on the first episode of Real Housewives of Durban. How do you miss the trip? I don't understand why she made that decision. But anyway, you guys, we are going to talk about that as well. The ladies are starting to feel Umbali is not around. Anyway, you guys, siyaphinda ke kule channel sikhuluma ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi sizihlebela njena kube mnandi, nothing serious. Kodwa uma ngaba ukazi uzusubscribe kule channel, angikwazi ukuthi ubuhleliphi, but there is a subscribe button la ngezansi. There is a join button for those who have been around and they feel like this is their home. They want to be members and contribute amasentshanyana here and there monthly. And also there's a thanks button if you funa ukwenza nje once off to give money to the channel. And you guys, listen, the like button is underestimated or underrated. Okay, hey, it's ngized. The like button is so underrated on YouTube, but the like button helps the growth of the channel so much, and also it helps the video. And you guys, please share the video with your friends, you know, on your social media, so that people can come here and we can be a bigger family. Anyway, you guys, so this was episode 7. Okay, let me say this. I think a lot of people have not really understood when I said ukuthi Sane is a treasure, okay, when it comes to Real Housewives, because she is making people uncomfortable, you know. And when people are uncomfortable on a reality show, a lot happens. Okay, and I've been saying, I think the past 2 episodes I said that I'm starting to like Annie, because Annie is starting to be that nice person. It was feeling like she watched the last seasons and she didn't like what she saw, or she didn't like the feedback that she was getting from the viewers, and she wanted to give us something different this season. But it did feel like this is not the real Annie, you know, because we know Annie is mean, we know that Annie is rude. So if Sane didn't come, we wouldn't see the Annie that we are seeing now, which is the real Annie that we've been seeing in season 1 and season 2, because she was trying to be nice, she was trying to be the old Soresha. Okay, but it presents Sane, because it bothers them so much. Even when she's not saying anything, they are just bothered by her presence. It makes things that they are trying to hide about themselves to come out. So basically this season, the real Annie, the mean and the rude Annie is back. Okay, and I was like, oh, okay, sis, I shame. Six episodes was too long to be nice. So Mdala, guys, is definitely back, and it's because of she's being irritated by the presence of Sane. So I feel like I want Sane around, you know. I want Sane around with her hair. They came for her hair. I was like, how do they do a colleague like that? Okay, anyway, you guys, so I like that. I like her presence because of that. But we are going to talk a little bit more, because I feel like for me she's disappointing me a little bit, Usane, because I felt like I want Usane that I saw in that first episode, and now we're getting a different Sane. Now she might be wanting to do things different, because she does want to stay in this group and hang out with the girls. But I just feel like, where is the Sane that was introduced in episode 1, you guys? So for me, the highlight was the dinner, you guys, that we're going to talk about towards the end of this video, because a lot is coming out about each and every person sitting on that table. So this episode, of course, they're going to go on a trip. Jojo invited them on a trip, but we know what it's not really Jojo's trip, you guys. It is the production's trip, because obviously every season they have to go somewhere and hang out or whatever. I really wish, you guys, that they would have like I've said previously, I wish that they could sometimes go outside of South Africa, even if it is in South Africa. Go to Swaziland, go to Lesotho, go to Zimbabwe, wherever. Go, go to Nigeria, even. See the other housewives there by Lagos or something. I really would love to see them take a trip outside of South Africa. But also, even if they go to KZ, and sometimes, like when you watch Real Housewives, you want to experience things that you don't normally experience yourself, or sometimes things that look like they are unreachable as an average person, and I want them to take those trips that I'm like, oh my God, there's a place like that, so when they went to the Drakensberg and they went to a place that I know is Sunny Pass, I was like, it's not that it's not a beautiful place, it is a beautiful place, but with Real Housewives, I always want to see things that are new, things that look like they might be unachievable for me. I want to see cars that the cars that they drive. I want to see cars that I feel like I can never really afford that car. I want to see even the houses. So for me, Housewives, it works for me to be that inspirational show that just seem like, okay, these are like the richest people that are living in Pilenga, but I guess go to the other side of it would be it's good for them to do the things that we do as people, so that we can relate to them. We can see these are just people just like us. Okay, so they decided they needed prayer. Okay, they needed prayer before they go to our trips. But this season, you guys, the housewives are split in two groups. Obviously, you guys, there is something about Usorisha and Noko, you guys, even though they haven't had a lot of confrontations, but it seemed like from the beginning of this season, they were just not gelling, and we have to remember, there are things that happen outside of, them shooting the show, or in between seasons, that we might not know about, but I feel like just from the beginning, they did not gel. And maybe Usorisha might not want to admit, but maybe she is a little bit upset about the fact that Noko has taken over and took Jojo, and now Jojo is Nonko's bestie, because Jojo, when she first came, you guys, she was on the side Sorisha no Eni, the richest, and now she's gone to the other side, which is being friends with Nonko. Now I'm starting to feel like maybe Sorisha won't admit, but maybe she is bothered by that fact, because sometimes I feel like I don't understand why all of a sudden they really don't get along with Nonko. And last season, Sorisha was the one person that would be willing to give Nonko. She gave Nonko more chances than anybody else. When people started talking about Nonko drinking a lot, she was the one that would come to her defense to say, guys, but maybe we need to speak to her and find out what's happening. They did have that really nice sit down last season. Usorisha ben Nonko sharing, Usorisha just saying, listen, Nonko, it's not like I really am wanting to be controlling to you, excuse me, in terms of you drinking, but I have had an experience where my brother dealt with alcohol abuse, so for me sometimes it is a trigger, and they really were vulnerable with each other, and they shared that. So it's just, for me, I'm not understanding why they can't come together that way this season. So it does feel like there's something underlying going on. Isn't this? Anyway, you guys, so yes, I feel like maybe that is playing a part between them, that Jojo has gone over there to be friends with Noko. Okay, so then you guys, so obviously there's two groups. There's Noko's group, and there is also Usorisha's group. Usorisha is going to do, she said it's Reiki. It's Reiki, it's energy healing thing before the trip. And Noko is doing Mtandas. Okay, oh mama Mtandas. I wasn't sure whether we Thursday in Lola Suk Lola. So Noko has called the queen to come and pray. Honestly, guys, Noko is really relies on prayer. Remember, they had that beautiful sit down with Umbali, and she prayed for Umbali. And also, guys, remember, she is a qualified pastor, but sometimes she would pray now and then she'll be swearing kona manjalo chigi 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 later on. Okay, so she's doing the prayer, she's with Yuan, and like I said, guys, angazi, it feels wrong for me the way I pronounce Yuan. Angazi, Yuan, yes, the bestie, ka Jojo, no Maria, and there's Jojo. And yes, no Noko, they're praying at Noko's house with the candles. They're praying for the trip, and then the energy healer is there by Sorisha, helping them with the because you do need to when you're going to spend time with everybody, you guys. It's anyway, you guys, I guess just that the fact that they had two different groups doing two different things made it feel like, okay, this trip is not gonna work because already there is a division in this group. Okay, of course, Lokuzana, Sane was not invited to any of the groups. It's like there's this group and that group, and then there's Sane. Anyway, you guys, angiboni ukuthi uyazingena indaba zokulokuzana zokuthandaza, so they do that, you guys. But I was like, yazi ukuthi abantu aba-rich they mustn't pray because God is very, very busy. So like uNkulunkulu ufanele alalele eyethu umthandazo thina abantu esihluphekayo sisacela imali, bona they already have imali. I feel like baqalisa queue yomthandazo. Now we are there by the queue waiting for the Lord to answer our prayer so he can help us with the budget for our very small salaries, and now they are there on the queue, and they're probably even in front of us because they have bribed to get in front of the line in terms of prayer. And I'm like, they must just not pray a lot so that our prayers can get to God quicker. Now I understand why some of my prayers when it comes to money are not being answered. These people are like busy with the Lord with their very long prayers, and they prayed for very long. Okay. Anyway, both the groups enjoyed whatever it was, the session. And I was wondering, Jojo, is she going to be about the prayer thing? I think Jojo, honestly, she is serious about her friendship with Noko. I feel like she is serious about that friendship because, you guys, I think when you are building a genuine friendship with somebody, the things that you don't understand about them, and even if, because yes, sometimes abelungu ba Christians nabo, but indlela esithandaza ngayo njengabantu abamnyama, I always feel like umlungu is straightforward. Dear God, we are going to go on a trip, please bless our trip, make sure everybody is peaceful and whatever. I thina siyanhlanhlatha amasithandaza, yabo. uNkulunkulu siqala simu-prepare nje simusho ngeyibongo neyithakazelo zakhe before we actually say ukuthi what do we need from the Lord. Okay. But she was very patient, and I thought she was going to be making some jokes when they were trying to be serious, during the prayer, but it wasn't like that, you guys. So yes, both the sessions enjoy the prayer. So now everybody now is preparing to go. Yuan is traveling with Jojo. Like I said in my other video that I had forgotten, Yuan is actually Jojo's friend. We were introduced to him as Jojo's friend before we were introduced to him being Maria's friend, but I was almost starting to forget. But I understand it because, you guys, when you're coming to the show, they have to find a way to shoot scenes with you away from the women. So Yuan is that person that will just go and shoot a scene with you and have a conversation with you. So he works for the show. Okay. Did I say she? Okay, I'm not sure which one. But for now, we'd say here because I'm guessing he doesn't have a problem with that. Anyway, you guys, yes. So I like him for the show. I like his calm demeanor. You guys, he will gossip with you, but he's not tooting the ndabas. We haven't seen him do that. So he is a good tool for the producers on this show. So obviously they're traveling, and it's a nice bus, you guys. But if you are not traveling with a plane or the helicopter, listen to us. You are traveling with the Quantum, okay? So of course Georgia, I was surprised that she was traveling that way, that she did not think of booking maybe a helicopter or anything like that. Listen, you guys, Georgia talks a lot about being rich. Every second sentence that Georgia will be talking about, she'll be talking about how rich she is. She is talking about them building that 10 million or renovating their house for like 10 million, and obviously she is rich because she has the millions. But I don't feel like she is, her richness is close to rich buka Sorisha, for an example. She did talk about the fact that when you are rich, you don't look at the price. But in this episode, she does later on talk about the price of the helicopter. And I was like, I thought you don't look at the price. I thought you don't talk about prices, Jojo. So she is traveling with the bus, which was a surprise for me. It's still a fancy bus, very comfortable. There is only a two of them and the driver, I think, on the bus. So, I think it works, you guys. Anyway, then it's like they go to Jojo and then they go to Maria. Maria is also traveling in another bus. We also get to meet Umama Osiza Maria Endlini, who is also Maria. I thought I liked their close friendships. They were hugging, telling each other they love each other and all of that. It looks like they have a very good relationship. Anyway, you guys, Maria looks, anyway, from what we've seen, looks like she is a nice person. So I'm guessing that she is a nice boss, you guys. And of course, then they go to the ones that are traveling in luxury, okay, which is Usoresha. There was no way that Vivian Reddy was going to let his wife drive all the way to the Pietermaritzburg. Drakensberg. There was no way that Vivian was going to do that. So obviously he's going to get the fanciest form of transport to transport his wife to the Drakensberg, because when the richest housewife in KZN arrives, everybody must know, okay, the Drakensberg must know because they have been hit by the riches, okay. So yes, it's her, it's Annie, it's Slee, okay. They're traveling together, okay. I like ukuthi Slee is not pretending to be like this is their life, she's not pretending. She was like, when they were talking about in that diary session, they were talking about the ride, she's clear to say this is the life, as in she's experiencing something new. And even being on the helicopter, she was saying how much her heart was beating fast and all of that. So I like that she's being real, you guys. Listen, I might have money, but not this money. Even when they went to Sorisha's house, she was like, yo, the Sorisha, listen, while we are sleeping, girls are working, So I like that because it makes her seem real and relatable. Because if I went to Sorisha's house, I would be like, if I went on a helicopter ride to go to the Drakensberg, I'd be feeling the same, you guys. So listen, it was great. I feel like with UN is very strategic, was very strategic even from the beginning in choosing her friends. She wanted the richest friend to be her friend because I think that she knows the benefits of doing that. And here she is flying again, you guys. And I assume that Sorisha didn't make them pay for flying, because remember last season when they flew to what's the first place they went on a holiday to, and everybody was complaining about it, and she said, you know what guys, next time we fly, I'll send you an invoice so that you can all contribute and we can all fly. And when she did that with them going to Sun City, nobody wanted to contribute, or nobody responded, so nobody wanted to pay to fly. So they chose to fly the normal way like everybody else. And because they did not respond to her, even about Jojo, you guys, even though Annie, who are supposed to be very rich, they did not respond. So I'm guessing that even this time she did not mind paying, so she paid for the cost of flying, you guys, okay. Okay, so we find out that they are going to Sunny Pass Resort, you guys. That's actually a place, if you watched any of my vlogs, it's just that I can't remember if I posted it here or on my personal channel, but I did do a vlog last year when we went there with my housing department at work, and we went to the exact same place, guys. Beautiful, that place is beautiful. So I wasn't surprised that they went there. I think it's one of the best places to go to when you are in the Drakensberg. But when it comes to the Drakensberg place, guys, there are so many nice places you can go to there for a holiday, and they are all nice. I've been to the Drakensberg 3 times now, on a trip, and it's always really really nice. So I don't think that kuthi banayindawo embi vele. So if you want to visit KZN and you want to go to the Drakensberg, just book any place, you know. So just say mini money more, I'm booking this place, it would be nice. Okay, because it's that nice. Even if you are around KZN, you want to go out with your friends, it really is a nice place to go to, you guys. So we find out that they're going there, Sunny Pass Resort. So everybody now is coming, is arriving. First it's Jojo and Yuan, obviously, that are arriving first, and they offered drinks, but they never offered us drinks. I know there was a lot of us coming, but not we wanted a glass of wine. So I'm wondering, Sunny Pass, can't iwine ni offeraba? No, I don't remember. I mean, I remember going to the desk, getting the key, and going to the room. Nah, you are, because the cameras were not there, you did not give us a drink, now. And Jojo was having breakfast under the tree there. No, we didn't. Hey, I mean, I'm guessing you pay extra for such things. But anyway, you guys, they arrived. The room was amazing. Okay, Jojo's room. I guess as a host, you know, you need to, you know, get the best room. I actually need to watch, get my friends to watch this episode and say, guys, next time we go on a trip, because I'm usually the one that is planning. Don't take it personal. I have to get the best room all the time. Because sometimes it's not that way, but you know, sometimes you have to make the trip work with your friends. But anyway, you guys, so they arrive. While they are in their room, sitting there, because I think they were on the first floor, looking outside in the balcony, there is, you know, the chopper. There is a helicopter coming. And you know, helicopter is big. You can't ignore it. It can't be doing this when you're like, let me go take a nap. It will make you watch it, no matter how painful it is to watch the other person arriving in a helicopter. You have to watch it. So they arrive, Slee, no, sorry, Shaganye, no, any. And also, you guys, there's helicopters, and there is the helicopter Sorisha. Okay, so it's not just a helicopter nyana here, scratched and rusty. Hey, it's black, it's shiny, it's fancy, you know. Anyway, they arrive, you guys, and then when they arrive, it's interesting, you guys. When they arrive, instead of Sorisha going like, because obviously if people are arriving, and I didn't expect that they were going to arrive in a whole helicopter, I'm going to be like, oh my god, so they flew here, what, and Lona, George is like, I should have thought of asking Kelvin to find out how much the helicopter was, so namings of fly. I was like, girl, okay, am I sensing it jealousy here? I really feel like she was jealous. I feel like she was like, why didn't I think of that idea? Because I'm the host, I should have arrived like that. But also I was like, so you're going to ask Kelvin to check what check what the price. I thought you don't look at the price. Now we look at the price. Sorry, you don't know that we are watching, we are listening. You know, when Nigerians do this. I was like, yes. She was like, I should have asked Calvin to check the price of the helicopter not to see fly. Yohan is like, whatever, I'm here, I don't mind. But he didn't say that, you guys. Anyway, they arrive, they're checking in also, and they realize, because the person that was helping them with the check-in at the reception gives Slee Sane's card. I think that guy must watch the show, so he knows Usorisha, okay? And then he just looked at them and looked at the cards, and he was like, okay, I don't know who Sane is, so this must be Usane. And then gave Lona, and they're like, Sane is here, and no, we don't want to Sane next to us. They are so, when I say high school, Ngempela, I am insulting high school kids here, because high school kids are more matured than these women, okay? That is long away from even starting grade R, okay? Because they're behaving like babies. We don't want to stand next to us, put her downstairs. I'm like, hey, Annie, the real Annie is back. We don't want that chick. Remove her name from, even the expression on her face, remove that name from this and put her next to us, saying, so she wanted them to swap the rooms, Slee to be Sane to be given to Slee, because they want Slee to be next to them, but they don't want Sane to be next to them, which I think might have been the producers' strategy to put them that way, because maybe they wanted drama, but it just didn't work out. Anyway, we don't see a lot of scenes in their rooms. Anyway, you guys, they went and, you know, checked in. I don't know this time if Sorisha's hubby did upgrade her room, but he always does. I'm guessing that he might have upgraded her room this time too, you guys. So once they arrived, Ujojo calls Annie because she knows Annie is going to have a problem with the fact that she invited Usane. She wants to explain that. But when she arrives in Jojo's room, she talks about smelling alcohol. She says, have you been drinking here? Which upsets Ujojo. And guys, Ujojo is not a drinker. She has said before, she doesn't drink a lot, you know. Sometimes she'll be holding a glass here and there, just sipping. But she did say that alcohol is not her thing. So I guess, I don't know if Annie was smelling alcohol or it's because she was seeing alcohol, but she made a comment about Jojo drinking, which I guess Jojo did not appreciate it because she does mention it later on, but I guess maybe we will mention it when we talk about the last dinner, which really is the last dinner. I think the last dinner Jesu elindele ukuyobethelwa elokhuzeni esiphambanweni was less dramatic. Cabanga Jesu was sitting there with Judas Iscariot, with Peter, who is the one that denied him 3 times, who is the one that sold him. Cabanga, Jesu was sitting with Judas Iscariot and sitting with Peter at the table, knowing what they were going to betray him, but he wasn't half as dramatic at the table as they were. Okay, I'm sure he wished he could. Ingonyama Judah was not as dramatic as these women were at that dinner, but he was sitting with Abu Judas. If you didn't watch the show, you get the picture. You get the picture of why I said this is a crash. The crash that is very far from going to grade 1. You know, the ones that are waiting to go to grade R next day are more matured than these women. Okay. So then they prepare for dinner. Unonku, okay, they said Unonku will arrive the following day. Okay, I guess that was pre-arranged. Maybe she couldn't get the plane to fly. I'm starting to think now, because maybe she couldn't get the helicopter that same day. She decided to come the next day, you guys. Or Udumsani Lona Pela RD just decided, because you know what, it's too many days away from me, so maybe go the following day. You never know, you guys. So they go to dinner. Jojo brings in some gifts. She was just trying to make the bringing of the gifts to be this big thing or whatever. You know, Slee is like, was it necessary really? So yes, you guys, but she brought a gift. I think honestly, Sorisha is trying on this trip to be a good host, but because she knows the trip is not really hers, she's just acting like the trip is hers. She doesn't care that much. But we don't get to see the gift to Yini, but she says she was mentioning some clothes. She bought some clothes, and it looked like it's something different for everybody. She says that if it doesn't fit you, she's got other sizes that she bought. And yeah, you guys, we don't see it, but it is expensive, because when she was talking to Kelvin about the gift, Kelvin was also saying, yeah, you went overboard. Okay, listen, I guess even as rich as they are, we know from this episode, Kelvin, not Jojo, they do look at the price. You know, they are still on some kind of a budget. It might be times a million in terms of how much I am on the budget with, how much I'm working with, okay, when I'm doing my budget, but they are on a budget nonetheless, okay, because they seem to be worried about how much they are spending, which is wise anyway. But I'm talking about it because it's something that Jojo said, which they don't look at the price. When you are rich, honey, you don't look at the price. She said it herself from her own mouth, Asimusugeli, okay? So, yes, you guys, so they get the gifts. Sane gets a gift too. Anyway, I think Jojo, so far, she's trying to involve Rusane. She is the one that invited her on the trip, so she can't really now exclude her. So everything is okay. They at the dinner, they get the gift, okay? So then they eat, you guys, in silence, which Sorisha said, oh, this is the first for us, because we never really get to the food. Usually there's drama before we can eat, and we never get to eat, you guys. I have heard that when they are shooting and it's things like dinner, we will be seeing a few minutes, sometimes us as the viewers, of the dinner, whatever, but sometimes they will be sitting there for hours, and sometimes with the producers just waiting for something to come up, and so they can get a good scene. So whenever they're sitting for dinner, it's usually way longer than we think. Sometimes they'll be sitting there and there's still light outside and stuff, but then when they are going home, it's already dark, because they've been there for a very long time. So we have to consider that when we watch these scenes, because that they are usually longer than what we see. Okay, in the morning, you guys, Jojo makes a phone call to Kelvin, whatever. She goes and has a lokuzani breakfast under the trees there, very nice. But it wasn't really like we could do without that scene, honestly. Kelvin is talking about that he is planning an event with the guys. They want to hang out as husbands. Finally, you guys, because I do feel like now and then in Real Housewives, if you have enough husbands, it's always great to get those scenes where they hang out, but they're going to invite the wives, so I already know there's going to be drama there. Anyway, you guys, there is a viewer that mentioned in my last video that Usane seemed to be wearing black all the time. And then when I watched the episode again later yesterday, when I was preparing for this review, she really does. She was wearing a black dress when they were going there. She was wearing a black dress at the dinner. She was wearing a black dress now in the morning when they're going to sit by the pool. I was expecting some color from her. I don't know, you guys. Everybody was just looking colorful and bright and with short dresses and some, with wraparounds and stuff, like the by the pool look. She was just wearing her black dress and some flip-flops, and I'm like, what's happening with Usane, you guys? What is happening with Usane? So this viewer said it gives her that feeling of a witch, her being always being in black. Guys, Usane did mention something about the trip. She says that the last time she took a trip, she went to Mdletshe, and I was like, ooh, these women, they need to be careful of Usane, If you know Mdletshe, they always refer to Mdletshe when they talk about imithi, They always refer to Mdletshe when they talk about izinyanga. That's izinyanga nabathakathi nezangoma. That's where they fetch imithi KZN, So Mdletshe is associated with imithi. When umuntu mayethi uphuma kaMdletshe and you have a beef with them, go right now and apologize. Say, I apologize for everything that I've done to you, because it's about to go down. Umuntu mephuma Mdletshe hayi umakhelwane wakhe mehleze khuluma ukuthi uya kaMdletshe. That's it. Thakathi convicted. So I was like, they need to be careful of Sane. Abangamsukeli njena, because mhlawumbe lapha ebhegini khona ibhegi aloku ahamba ngayo, nangenkathi beya lapha phambi ngase swimming pool uphethe ibhegi lapha. I'm like, Mdletshe bathe ithe inyanga yabona ke this one wherever you go ungayishili. Anyway, and there is also another video, one video on her channel where she is interviewing somebody odayisa igubhu. Niyazazi igubhu ezokuthwala, like akuba nesigubhu osithengayo angazi wenzeni kanjani sikhona sokulethela imali. She was interviewing somebody about that on her channel. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying ukuthi and remember, there is that story of Usane being associated with Inkabi, and we all know good story saying Inkabi is that the reason they are so brave to do all of the things that they do is because basuke benenyanga ethile nje basizayo nanokuthi bangabanja niyahlanganisa 1 + 1 is 25. Niyawuthola 25. That's why I say this she must be careful, She must be careful. Hey. Anyway, you guys. So they're sitting by the pool. Sorisha's group, I would just say that because Uba counter, Sorisha's group and Ulokuzana, what's the Maria had joined them, and then Yuan comes, greets them, but he goes to sit at another place. I guess that's where they had planned to shoot a scene. Her and Sane. Sane comes, greets the women, but doesn't hug anybody. Goes to the other side to speak to Yuan, and I guess Yuan is trying to find out from Sane, why do they hate you so much? Okay. This is where Usane for me started to feel like, hi girl, mina angisakwazi ukuthi ubani, because the way that I received her on the show, I received her the way that she was in episode 1, and I expected to get that. Of course, I expected her to get to a point where she can calm down a bit so that she can build some relationships with this group. But I felt like she was going to be somebody that was going to just tell the truth and speak the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear the truth for the other person. Ubezo kivane igatla all the way through the season, So ukusukela uTsane, for me, it wasn't going to be a good idea for anybody on this group. But now she's coming off as somebody that she doesn't know why everybody is upset with her. She's denying things that really did happen, and so when he's trying to find out what happened, she says she doesn't know why Annie is upset. But you do know, Sane, because you did say that she slept her way to whatever, her marriage or to the top. You do know that. And apparently this episode we find out as well that Annie felt Usane was being a racist by the comment that she said, which Usane doesn't remember, because apparently Usane doesn't remember anything that she says and doesn't remember anything that she does. And I'm like, amnesia, too much amnesia. How can we mhlabi yalingana? Umhlabi uyalingana lo owenza ukuthi akhohlwe yona yonke into ayenzayo nento ayishoyo. I'm like, I'm going to need you to remember what you say about these women. I'm going to need you to remember what happens between you and these women, because otherwise your presence in the show doesn't make sense. You do things but you don't remember, so she's still having that. I know, I don't know why I don't remember that happening. I'm like, girl, please remember. Call your mhlabi yalingana nyanga and say, I need something that cures amnesia. I need it, okay? Angangishayi ngento zasemniza kamhlabi yalingana nami, because my channel will just die all of a sudden. But I need Sane from first episode. That's what I'm saying, basically, okay? And there is another conversation that takes place between Annie and Slee. I think Annie has this thing, Yoguti. Noko no Jojo told her ukuthi Slee is not a good person. Slee lies, Slee attacks, Slee this, Slee that. And now she wants to hang out with Sorisha, and Sorisha wants to hang out with Slee. And she's figuring out, in order for me to hang out with Sorisha, I'm going to have to get along with Slee. So I have to get to know Slee, whether I like it or not. But she has, that thing, those two told her, this is not a good person. So she says to this league, and what did you say? Because apparently she had said that if friendship ka Jojo, Beno Noko is fake. And Usli is like, no, that's not what I said. What I said was that Jojo said I was jealous of their friendship, and I laughed and I said that's a joke. And she took it as if I am saying their friendship is, fake. Anyway, you guys, another helicopter comes, okay? Red and white helicopter. Listen, you guys, one thing about Noko is that she does have money, and I think that being on the show has as well, I think, has worked on her business, because each and every season, you guys, she just looks like she has more money, okay? And I like the fact that she's one of those women that is making her own millions, all right? So I like that, the fact that she could afford to pay for her own helicopter. I'm in no way thinking Udumsane paid for that helicopter, okay? Maybe. Also, if he did, I think Noko would definitely say. I think Noko would find a way to tell everybody that Utumsani paid for the helicopter. The fact that she didn't, I feel like for me it means that she paid for herself. But I mean, we love her, a woman that can pay her way. But you know, when you can pay her your way, sometimes we want the other person to pay for your way, and you can save your way, you know. So I don't think that he did, but maybe we'll find out in the next episode, you guys. Anyway, and Noko arrives. The other group goes and they are happy that Noko has arrived. The other group is like, we've seen better. Especially Sorisha. I feel like, you guys, with Sorisha, I think that there's something that she's not revealing when it comes to the booking of the helicopters regarding Noko, because, you guys, I don't know why she was just like when she saw the aeroplane. And also there's something that she said when it comes to the aeroplanes. I'm going to talk about it. Yes, like I've been saying, Sorisha and her husband owns the whole of KZ, and they actually might, because she does say something, but I'm going to give it to you to Google and find out what it means, because I interpreted it in a certain way, but it might not mean that. Okay, so then Noko is greeted by everybody. She wanted to have, you know, the grand arrival, which she should, guys, because I mean, a helicopter is a helicopter, whether it's black or pink or white, it's a helicopter. Okay, and the others go and greet her, but the rest, they just go to their room. Okay, it wasn't, I don't think that it would have been easy for Slee to all of a sudden say, oh my god, here is Noko, because obviously they're not friends, and they've made it clear that they just don't get along. With Sorisha, with Annie, we all already know how their relationship is like. With Sorisha, I sort of kind of don't understand yet what the issue is with Noko. So they sit down to talk. Now, Jojo is talking to Noko, talking about how she feels like they are assuming that she drinks a lot. And the reason they are assuming that she's drinking a lot is because she's spending time with Noko. And then I'm feeling like, oh, so Noko does drink a lot. So that is true that she drinks a lot, because Annie, when she came to Jojo's room and said, have you been drinking? She did not say, have you been drinking just like Noko drinks? No. She just said, have you been drinking? Jojo is making an assumption because that is because she's spending time with Noko. And I'm like, oh, so Noko really does drink, because Jojo is spending a lot of time with Noko. So if people are assuming that you're drinking and you are assuming it's because you spend time with Noko, she must drink a lot for real, you know? And I think she gave out that information unintentionally, but it was needed on my side, because of course last season there was that issue that Noko drinks a lot, but she was saying that it's not as big of an issue as people are making it to be. They also do talk about the fact that the others did fly, because of course Noko thought that she was the only one that flew to the Drakensberg, and she's sort of disappointed, you guys. I don't know with these ladies. If you flew and she flew, what is the problem? Crashy, yes, crashy guys. You know, what's the problem? You flew, she flew. What is the problem? So she asked, who do they fly with? And then they did tell her, it was with Annie and Slee. She's like, with Slee. I think she was bothered that the ladies flew, but she was more bothered by the fact that Sorisha chose Slee, you guys. I don't know. I think I agree with Slee, because Noko seemed to be bothered by her present. Present Gasly. And it's a surprising thing, because you brought her to the group. Okay. Brought her to the group. Okay. Listen, you guys, I do feel like no Slee, we're some kind of friends before the show, because of course the kids are friends. It's hard to fake a friendship and then make your kids fake a friendship. The fact that their kids have a close friendship made me feel like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't just for the show. These people were really hanging out before the show started. So now Noko is upset because why didn't they take Jojo? She says, my enemy is your enemy. And I'm like, who's the enemy? Okay. And they make it bigger than it actually is. Now we go to the dinner. Was it the dinner? Okay, fine. They go to dinner. They're all looking beautiful. It's supposed to be a beautiful dinner, you guys, like I said. But Jesus wouldn't let them. Okay? Jesus being Noko. The one othandaze waze wajuluka kanjani is the one that was the most sinful in this dinner. You know, she was Judas and Jesus at the same time. Noko. Okay, I'm like, yes, Noko, I like you. God, sometimes the things that you do, you know. God, I guess we have to like her even for that, because remember the dinner, the last night's dinner before Noko arrives, the dinner was boring. Okay, they were even playing that sound, yeah, nyoni singing, indicating that's how boring the dinner was. They even played that because Noko was not around. So when Noko shows up, she's gonna show out. I am telling you. And this is what happens in this dinner. So they are sitting there, you guys. How were they sitting? Usane was close to Nonku, not Jojo. It was Jojo and Nonku, and then Usane, and then it was Yuan, and then Maria, Sorisha, and Annie. I think Sorisha was like right at the end. I think Annie was right at the end. So Vela, the division, even sitting at the table, look clearly from Yuan this way it was Noko's group, and then this way it was Sorisha's group. Okay, and Slee is next to Sorisha. Okay, which is a good thing. It's like a reunion. Don't sit to the person you don't like. The next thing you'll be slapping them and pulling their hair like Ukenya, Lokuzana. What's the lady Portia did to Ukenya at the reunion. Don't sit people that don't like each other next to each other. So then you guys, they talk about the fact that Unoko just wants to find out, oh, so you guys flew here and all of that. They're like, yeah, so okay, guys, of course I'm not gonna say it's exactly like Unonko said it, but this is my interpretation of a conversation. Unonko was trying to find out, okay, so Richard, did you fly because you find out that I was going to fly? Because Sorisha was saying also, no, when I called to book, and then she says, actually it's my husband that did. They told him, by the way, the other person is flying then the next day. Okay, so Unonko is like, oh, so did you book? Basically she was saying, did you book because I had booked, because she was asking, so you had prior knowledge yokuthi mina ngizofly here, that's why. So Unonko must have booked a helicopter before Sorisha. She's like, no, it's not that I booked because you booked, you know. And you know, but when we called, we found out someone else was going to book. She says also Sorisha, she was going to take any no. I think Sorisha was trying to be fair in the situation. Who am I gonna take? There can only be the three of us on the plane. Who can I take? So she decided she was going to take the OGs. Okay, OGs being any no. Okay, of course she did not need to worry about Ujojo, because how am I going to fly you to a trip that you are hosting? You are the host. Just like they didn't have to worry about how Londi London was going to get to wherever they went to last year because she was a host. It was the same here. She's not going to worry about Jojo. Okay. Also, they're not really getting along that well with Jojo. So out of everybody else, she was going to take Unonku, no in. But she says she had told Slee, you know what, we are going to fly there. There can only be 3 people that fly with me, including me. So I'm going to ask Unonko. However, if Unonko has other plans, or she says no, she's not going to fly with me, because of course they're having that conflict right now, because Sorisha wanted Unonko to speak to Annie about whatever she said and she wasn't doing it and all of that. And she said, but if Unonko says yeah, no, or she has other plans, I will take you, Slee. So Slee was very clear about the fact that she wasn't going to fly, she was going to drive there. But in case Unonko says no, she was going to do it. Okay, so that's exactly what happened. So Sorisha didn't need to ask Unonko, because when Vivian calls the helicopter people, they tell her, or they tell him, there's someone else who's flying. I guess Vivian was curious because he is on Real Housewives. He was like, let me get my wife some information. So who is flying? They said Noko. Okay, so then Soris is like, oh, so Noko has other plans. Slee, let's go. Okay, Slee so knew it's okay, I'm a substitute, cool, but I'm not gonna miss out on an opportunity to get on a helicopter. Okay, So then Unonku then Sorisha does not understand what the issue is with that. Okay, she gets that clarity, Unonku. And then she says, so who do you fly with? Udlona, because there was Annie on the, oh yes, Annie was sitting at the end. She says it's these two, which is Annie, no Slee. And then she's like, so you didn't take Ujojo? Huh? You didn't take my God. You flew all the way to the Drakensberg and you left the God behind. Who are we going to betray at this table if you leave the Lord behind? Because we are supposed, I know, but they betray the Son, not the Lord. Anyway, niyasazi story. Who? Because phela inkosi yakhe phela uNkulunkulu wakhe uJojo is like, how did you leave uJojo behind? And all of them is like, but Jojo is the host of the event. Why should we be worried about that? Okay. Anyway, it just becomes a bigger thing. But overall, you guys, Noko is bothered by the fact that Usorisha, I don't even think that she's bothered by the fact that Usorisha didn't take Ujojo. She's bothered by the fact that she took Slee. Imagine, even her, she didn't offer anybody a right to say, guys, I'm going to fly the next morning, but I'm using a helicopter. Do you want to come with us? She didn't offer it to Slee. She didn't offer it to Sane. She didn't offer Maria. She didn't offer Jojo. You know, she flew alone with RD, okay? With RD. Anyway, you guys, so now the fight starts. Sorisha was not having it, okay? So Slee is trying to help the situation, I guess, which was the wrong thing, because now Noko was irritated. Slee is like trying to explain to Noko, Sorisha did explain to me that I was going to be a substitute. She did say that she was going to take you, but since you had other plans, she took me. She thought of you first. That should matter to you, that Usorisha thought of you first. Guys, that scene was so similar to the scene that they had when they were taking a trip with London, because that's exactly what Unonku said. But in this scene, Unonku is now Nonku and she is now Jojo too. She was like two person in one. Now, everybody is not understanding now. Well, on the side, Kasori, you flew yourself. What is the problem? Why do you care that I didn't take Ujojo? Why didn't, even though Annie was saying, why didn't you take Ujojo in your own plane way in yourself? You know, why should it be Sorisha? Uslingala is trying to explain, Nonku, Sorisha thought of you first. I took your seat because you had other plans. She at some point she tells Slee, you know what, when I'm not talking to you, shut up. No, she did not say shut up. That is very, very nice. She said shut the F up. Everyone is like that. You remember, you guys, that is exactly what Ujojo said to Nonku at their trip with London. She said shut the F up to Nonku when Nonku was complaining to Sorisha about Usorisha taking Umakumalo, no Jojo, with her instead of taking her. So now, you guys, so okay, fine. Now everyone is surprised now. Why sekushuba kangaka? I'm like, haibo mama wenkonzo kade uthandaza wena uthandazela trip wena sewuthuka abantu manje usuthi shut the F up to the people. Number one, you guys, I don't understand why Jojo was not saying in that situation, Nonku, listen, I don't have a problem with the fact that I didn't fly with Sorisha, because that's what she says. So I do feel like behind the closed doors, Sorisha, or on the phone, she Nonku, because she was sitting there looking like she's having all the pleasure in the world that Nonku is talking for her and defending her about not being taken on a plane. But she was sitting there acting like she doesn't mind. She even said in the direct session that it did not bother her that she wasn't the one that was flying with Sorisha. But I was like, so why are you sitting there not telling your friend? With my friend, no, it's not a problem. Don't worry, let's have dinner. I didn't mind the fact that I didn't fly. Why didn't she say that? She now Noko, she's telling Slee to shut the F up. You were a substitute. Slee is like, yes, I was a substitute, because Sorisha, that's what she did. She thought of you first. Basically, she was just combative for nothing. Unonku and Slee is like, yo, I guess angishate up, you know. Anyway, you guys, it was a disaster and it was caused by Noko for no reason. Sorisha is irritated. This is what she said, guys. I don't understand why people are giving me a problem where I decided to fly in my own flight path. Guys, What does it mean when somebody says it's my flight path? Does it mean that Sorisha and her husband, they own the railway above us? I was like, yo, maybe they even own all of those helicopters. I feel like even the helicopter that Noko arrived with, Sorisha owns it. She was like, why is it a problem that I flew in my own flight path? It's like you saying you own the highway, you own the railway. Guys, please, somebody Google how what it means to own a flight path. I was like, maybe you have to get permission from Sorisha and her husband to fly. They own the railway above us. They even own us. We must look on ID at the back. He said, maybe it's written there, property of Vivian Reddy and his wife. Case that I need to look at my ID. I am suspecting. I'm suspecting it's everything is. She said that I flew in my flight path. Now people are having a problem with me. At some point, Sorisha is convinced this whole thing comes from Jojo, which is reasonable, because why is your friend complaining so much about you not flying and you are sitting there smiling, having so much pleasure from it? It must come from you. Jojo is like, but I had nothing to do with it. She's almost in tears now. I'm like, I'm got that Jojo get soul. Okay. Now, and then Noko says, no, but we are friends. We have to be open with each other in terms of like, if I have an issue, I have to talk about it. So, but then Sorisha, we will talk later on, just the two of us. Lono Maria, she made a good point, because Maria was like, no, you're not going to talk aside. You are going to talk here. La khona manjalo, you are going to talk here, because nizohamba niyokhuluma eceleni and then nibuye omunye ashenye into omunye asho into. I'm tired. Okay, so from now on, no side conversations, talk here. Okay. Unonku is like, ukhuluma nike lona nomlomo mude futhi njena ujovile umlomo wakhe, and then now it looks like she said that's why she blew her lips that big, because she wanted to have a big mouth. That's why she has a big mouth, because her lips are too big. Those lips are too big. I was like, I died, because I was like, we're going to hear about this at the reunion. I need to check Maria, because she probably tweeted. Okay, if she didn't tweet, she went on Instagram and commented about it. And I'm like, Noko, yay, you don't talk about somebody's lips. She was like, yeah, that's why. That's why we all know vele Maria's lips vele, It's like it's like Lisa, the other Lisa. What's the Lisa Van de Pump? And then what's the other one? Lisa Renna from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Futhi yazi Maria, they're even bigger than aga Lisa. And I was like, Noko, the shade just killed me. I had to be resuscitated. Haibo, resuscitated. They had to bring me back to life after that shade. I was like, be ready to explain yourself. The lips are going to be right in front of you, demanding, an explanation. Anyway, you guys, they continue. The dinner, I don't even remember them eating. Did they eat at that dinner? I don't even think so. After she makes a comment about the lips, she tells Maria to shut the F up too. I was like, now, honestly, I feel like Noko is becoming Jojo. But I'll talk about that in another video. I really do. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing when you become friends with somebody and then you suddenly become them. That's the reason you become friends, because you're two different people that work together. Now, why would you change and be like the other person now? Okay. And we also know, some friendships friendship, there will be a day where you will say, this one used to be my friend, especially friends that we meet as adults. I find that friendships that you meet younger and they survive until adulthood, like real adulthood, like in your 40s, and you met the person younger, and I feel like those friendships last longer, and they or they are better lasting than friendships that you meet nje usumjedevu. Is it umjedevu wenkosikazi enafoti? And that's exactly what happened with Noko. So I was like, hey, I don't know about that. So now liyashisa ibhodwe now. Kuyashisa la itafuleni because uJesu is impatient. He knows ukuthi uyobethelwa kusasa. So the table was unsettled. And now ke uJesu lo Noko now seyabona ukuthi hey yashisa futhi kusasa ngisazobethelwa. So let me change the topic. She redirects the conversation now to Sane now with the issue that she had with everybody. Sane is irritated because unonku now sekuyamshisela usephendule conversation about me. She wanted to talk about the fact that I guess she was done with Sorisha now, and Slee must shut the F up because she's a subset guys. And she also said something like, so you came here and took over, you trying to come here and take over. That made me feel like unonku is jealous of Slee. I think she's jealous that Slee has come in and was able to build a friendship that she fought so much to build, because Noko struggled so much to become closer to Sorisha. She was trying so hard and they would just exclude her when they are hanging out, the three of them, Sorisha, Annie and Jojo. And then at the end, she decided to be friends with Jojo because Jojo ended up being the one that was open to a friendship. But to Annie and Sorisha never gave Nonku a chance. So I feel like part of her is jealous. When I fought so hard to be friends with these women, and when now you just come in and I feel like deep down she is jealous of that. And she even says, you come here and take over. She's like, but you're the one that brought me here. She did mention as well that I brought you here, and then Slee's like, yes, you did, and then you attacked me. Anyway, you guys, so then it turns to Sane, and she says they must give Sane a chance to get to know her. She has apologized. The apology sounds genuine. And N is like, how do you know it's genuine? You don't know her. And which Nakona, she's right, N to say, you don't know this woman, okay? Apparently the women had seen the article that we all saw about Usane, and they had had some discussions about her. I guess that's why everybody is so scared of her and staying away from her, because they are so scared. They saw the article or whatever. But Usane is not interested in that. She was like, haibo, why say Zakmini in? And then Maria asked Usane, they say you said something about something that was racist. And Eni says, Usane, I didn't see that at the event. Sorisha had tripped on Sane's foot, and then Usane had made a comment about Eni being colored last Cape Town. And she says that was racist. Okay, we didn't hear that. Usane is denying it. But guys, I don't know. I feel like there is a possibility that Usane did say that, because Usane has been denying a lot of the things that she said. So even when I want to defend her and said, this woman didn't say that because we did not see it on camera, but I feel like maybe she did, because she is denying everything, or most of the things that was that people are saying she said. Okay, so on top of Usane coming for Lonely London, she also did say that about Ueni. And also she did say that when they were sitting at the table, Usane kanye no Jojo no Noko, okay? And then Ueni comes for Ulokuzana, comes for Usane to say, you know, it's not like we are judging you without knowing you. Everything that you have presented to us, Vele, is fake. Your speech is as fake as your hair. Guys, listen, when you are on Real Housewives, you know, those who haven't been to the Real Housewives, okay, you have to practice your shade, okay? You have to write it down, and it has to hit, okay? And I was like, yeah, Gona, it's shady, what she was saying, but, you know, I'm looking for a shade assassin when it comes to Real Housewives of Durban, and I have not met one. Okay, I have not met one, because you know what, they fired Ulokuzana, who used to say things in the diary session that would really hit there. So I feel like Eni was trying, but I was like, yeah, it's shady, but it just don't hit that much. Okay, the only one that really hit deep was the lips one by Unonku. Okay, so yes, it is a good season this season, but I'm missing the shade, the real shade. Okay, the one that is gonna hit. ngizwe ukuthi umoya wami ushona phansi. Okay, one thing about the argument between Annie with Usane, I always feel like Annie doesn't want to give Usane a lot of the chance to talk, because I do feel like she doesn't want her to go there. And Usane does say in the direct session, do you want to have a conversation? Okay, let me know, because we can talk about your husband. Okay. You remember when Lisa ran, I was like, don't talk about the husband, and Kim was like, do you want to talk about the husband? Yeah? Do you want to talk about the secret of your husband? That's exactly what Susanne said in the direct session. But we can talk about your husband because he is out there on the streets being a para. Do you want to have a conversation about your husband? But at the table, I was like, girl, Sane, I am rooting for you, okay? I am rooting for you. She came for your weave, honey. That looks like a very expensive weave for somebody to come for. And you don't even defend your weave. Who will defend your weave if you don't defend your weave? Okay? I was disappointed. I was like, girl, nobody's gonna come for my short hair, okay? Hey, I will shade you to death if you come for my short hair. You are going to let them come for your weave. She did not defend her weave. I was like, girl, people should not come for your weave. Anyway, I don't know why, you guys. I guess she has somebody that helps her with her hair, normally helps her with her makeup, and her wardrobe as well, because on this trip, nobody seemed to be, maybe they're not showing, nobody seems to be traveling with their glam squad. Okay, so the makeups are a little bit off, the hair is a little bit off, especially Egasane. So I was like, okay, maybe she's not somebody that is good at doing her hair. I saw one of her lives where she was wearing that weave that is like Kelly and Bob, and she kept saying it bothers her so much, she prefers short hair. Maybe she should have gone with her short hair, because the night before at the dinner she just came with her short hair and she was looking really beautiful, you guys, really beautiful. So I actually don't think she needs the weave, okay, but I think it just needed some brushing, brush it a little bit, it would have been fine. But she did not defend her weave. Who's going to defend your weave if you don't defend your weave? Anyway, you guys, yes, so the makeup too is like, I feel like she's not good with foundation and all of that, and she could have gone natural as well. There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. You can't go like this, So it wasn't. And also, you guys, maybe also like you can be good at putting on your makeup, but maybe you are not good at putting on the makeup when you're going to be in front of the lights and everything, in front of the camera. That could be a situation too with Usane. But yeah, Sane didn't give me the Sane she gave me in the first episode, and I was disappointed. I was, you guys. So they're still having that fight. Jojo was feeling like Sorisha is blaming her for what Noko is doing, and I do understand why Sorisha would go there. Sorisha was not having it, okay? Sorisha was like, listen, this argument is getting old. All the time you're asking me about who I flew with and all of that. I am done. It is tiring, okay? Exhausting. I'm not. She even came from Johan. Hey, Sorisha was like, because Johan was like, when it was going on, she was like, why are you shaking your head? I'm like, oh, did she come for the gay friend? Guys, I hope it's not offensive to say gay friend. I'm saying it because a lot of people will say, it's my gay friend, it's my gay best friend. She came from the gay best friend. So Risha is like, yay! When I go to war, there is casualties, and Yuan was a casualty. Yuan is like, no, I'm just shaking my head because I was like, this situation was giving me anxiety and I wanted it to end and I was tired and whatever. There were casualties at war, okay? I'm sure even the waiters and waitresses, when they were bringing the food, Sorisha was coming for them because she was like, everything on the way, don't go. Listen, you guys, they don't know what hit them with the Sorisha, because Sorisha is not having it, okay? If she needs to be mean, she's going to. But one thing we must understand about Sorisha, it's her flight path, okay? So you might think you're going to beat her by flying, but you are flying in my own plane with my own, on my own flight path, So She owns everything. Okay, anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I just, the prayer thing, I was like, they're wasting our time here. You know, we pay for this show, mates, so you know, give us something. The queen, queen angagqibezeli at the prayer. Guys, I feel like the designer ka queen deserves like one night. I'm not saying a lot. One night in jail, not prison, jail, at the cell by the police station, for some of the outfits that she makes for the queen. Just one night in jail, just to say good. Why you doing too much? You're doing too much, okay? Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. I did enjoy it. I hope that you did. But if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section. Tell me about your highlights this season. How do you think that the season is going? And I feel like this season is going to be one of those seasons that end before we wanted to end. Last season we were like, akuphele already, sesikhathele uphethale. Yeah. You know, I think that I'm enjoying the season. Anyway, you guys, it's still going to continue. There's a lot that's going to say. Woo, Noko is going to go back to Slee to be like, I want us to get along. Humble pie will be eaten next season, and not next season, next episode. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video before Pumegona. If you watched until here, tell me about it. It's our own secret, because the people that watch in the beginning, they don't know good. There's this. So if you watched until the end, tell me so that I can give you your 10 stars in the comment section. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.